Morning, Trainiacs! Are you cuckoo for choo-choos? Are your thoughts derailed by the idea of a giant engine plunging into a tunnel? Well, there's good news as at last some decent Lego train sets are coming our way thanks to Lego Ideas and the Bricklink designer program. Now the Bricklink ones, though limited in number, are definitely coming, but we'll get to those later. First up is Lego Ideas. Now, these sets have gotten to the 10,000 votes needed to be considered by Lego and are currently in the review process. Whether any get made remains to be seen, but at least they're in with a shot. So, let's begin with this one. Hello, big boy. Now, this is obviously based off of the largest steam locomotive in the world, the Union Pacific 4014. And I always like to give credit where it's due to the designers. Again, I've got nothing to do with any of the designs we're going to be looking at in this video, but the designer of this one has done a really super job. There's some great detail in here, and as they themselves have said in their description, Lego do like giving us large builds. So having the largest steam locomotive? That does seem like something that should be turned into a Lego set. Now the real life thing is 40 meters, over 540 tons, and apparently has 7,000 horsepower. I didn't know that. That really is insane. An incredible amount of power. The actual build itself, obviously just over 2,300 pieces. And the best thing about it, it's been designed for motorization. Apparently the designer has done this so it comes with a motor included. Whether, if Lego actually chose this, they would stick to that remains to be seen. More than likely, they would probably remove the motor and leave us to have to buy it separately for an absorbent amount, seeing as that's what Lego tends to usually do. But at least the designer has good intentions, and if this did actually come with a motor, it would be super. Now, this one was in for the second 2023 review. We are, of course, waiting for winners to be announced, so whether this will be one of them, we'll have to see. It's up against some stiff competition, but if it did, it'd be a deserving winner. However, what I probably prefer even more is the Flying Scotsman. Now, this has been designed by apparently a 14-year-old designer, which, credit where it's due, is absolutely fantastic. I think it's great to even be interested in Lego at that age, as sadly many youngsters these days don't seem to be as much. I don't see what was wrong with going back to my childhood and being a nerdy little teenager alone in his room playing with his little bricks, but this has been done tremendously well. And of course the Flying Scotsman is an absolutely iconic train. It really does deserve to be put into Lego. I mean, it set multiple records. It was the very first one to reach 100 miles an hour, first steam train to circumnavigate the globe, and yes, it's also been designed, once again, with power functions included. I love the optimism. Again, I don't think that Lego would probably do it. They'll probably make us buy it separately, but I would love it if this was included with power functions. To be fair, one of the latest city trains did have it, so you never know, they might do it. But what a brilliant looking thing this is. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree. I think this is an absolutely super design of a brilliant and iconic train that needs to be turned into Lego. Now, this set looks to come with 2,339 pieces, making it a decent size along with 8 minifigs and also track as well. Combine that with the motorization, a beautiful design, and my hat goes off to the designer. This very much deserves the support that it received, and fingers crossed that Lego do choose to put it into production. Now, also on Lego Ideas, I do need to mention this one because it technically does involve some train track, and it's not a station, but the train is designed to go through it. It can't really count, so I'm not going to spend much time on this. Nice building, yes, I think it would look great in a cityscape, deserves the support, but obviously this isn't a train, it's not even a train station. In that regard, I can't really include it in this, and the same goes for the train bookends. Cool little idea, yes, nice looking little train, but obviously it doesn't go on tracks, it can't be motorized, it's not the full thing. So absolutely nice idea, can't honestly say that I'm that bothered if it did get made. This is something very different though. This is the train suitcase, and yeah, pretty cool idea actually. Obviously the case just flips up and then you've got the little levers down there which you can turn, and that's going to maneuver the scenery past the train itself being static. It's not my favourite, but do you know what? I do like the idea. It's definitely something different, out the box or out the case, as this may be. I do think though that the next train that I want to see Lego do needs to be minifigure scale, at least have some included with it, whereas obviously this isn't. So probably not so much for me, this one, but let me know what you think in the comments below. If they made this, would you get it, or would you be a bit disappointed and prefer one of the others? One that I do really like the look of is this, the working suspension railway. There are not many of these around the world the designer has included where they come from, but seeing them in person is really impressive. Personally, I can only speak about Wuppertal, which is actually the oldest of them, but it just takes engineering to a whole new level. Such an incredible thing to see in person, and this Lego build is awesome. We've obviously had trains, we've had monorails, but a suspension system like this is just a brilliant idea. I'm actually quite surprised that Lego haven't done it before. I think this would look absolutely incredible in people's cityscapes. The choice of colours is super, the level of detail is brilliant, there's a lot of little fun things going on in there as well. I think out of all of these Lego ideas, this one is my favourite. Now, as far as a piece count goes, this one has 3,000, and yes, it's motorized as well. It even has a manually operating elevator too. And I love sets like this because not only are they going to look fantastic on display, it just has that play element as well, which is something that Lego has started to miss out of some of its latest sets. And it's a shame because ultimately it's what it was all about. So if they did make this, I would be very, very happy. Let me know if you agree in the comments. Now though, it's time to move over to Bricklink. Now these are the ones that we know we will be getting. We obviously just had the old train engine shed. This one sold out not quite as quickly as the Mountain Fortress, but you know what? It wasn't that far behind. I did manage to pre-order one, which I look forward to receiving and building. If you'd also like to see a review on that when I do get it, let me know. But that was the only one from Series 1. We do, however, have an entry for Series 2, the logging railway. Now, let's just address the elephant in the room, shall we? This is currently limited to 30,000 sets. Whether Lego decide to change that at all, maybe they will, maybe they won't. Either way, it's limited in number. Some people like that, some people hate it, and I'm not going to get in the middle of that argument. I will let you all duke it out below in the comments. What I will say is this, Lego obviously own Bricklink, so this is as close as we can actually get to a fully fledged Lego set without Lego actually just doing the whole thing themselves, which sadly doesn't seem like they're going to be doing anytime soon. But this is a brilliant piece of design work. Now I really like the trestle bridge. Yes, it's going to be a bit repetitive to build. I know that does bother some people. It doesn't really bother me except when we have fiddly little parts included because of my fat fingers, which decide to break everything that they touch. Some of these bits do look fiddly. I think that I might get slightly annoyed while putting that together. But otherwise, this is a beautiful homage to logging railways of the time. Good amount of detail, nice amount of story going on in there as well, some decent minifigures. This guy standing there, admiring some large wood with a chopper in his hand. This great looking caboose. I really like this set. I think they've done an absolutely super job of putting it together. A very well deserving finalist, and I will look forward to trying to get hold of this one. So let's see, crowdfunding June 2024, not that far away now. So not that long to wait before getting pre-orders in. 2,700 pieces, decent size as well. In fact, they've actually put in the sizes down here. So 3 feet long, the bridge, almost 10 inches tall, good size. Really pleased that we're getting that one. Looks like a super design. Then also for Series 2 is the Brick Cross train station. Now, obviously, for the initial designer program, we had the Studgate train station, which was definitely more ornate. It was also a bit bigger with over 4,000 pieces, whereas this one's got 3,000. I think that people are going to compare them just simply because they're both the train stations, but hey, there's definitely room for both in a cityscape. The designs themselves are certainly very different. I really, really like the look of this one. I think it's absolutely super. I would say that probably my only criticism of this is how clean it looks. I mean, have you ever actually seen a train station that looks this good? Or indeed with waiting staff that actually look this happy? They need to be morose with the building covered in graffiti and a load of dirt and litter everywhere. But in all seriousness, this does look awesome. And there's some fun little things in there. I've just noticed the rat down there eating the cheese. That's awesome. Now, reading through the designer's comments, this isn't based on any particular station, but a little bit of a mixture of different influences from stations that he or she, not sure which, has seen from around the world. And do you know what? Fantastic job. Just over 3,000 pieces, 8 minifigures included. This looks super. It really, really does. And I think this is going to be very popular when it comes to crowdfunding. Sadly, it is going to cost a little bit more than the $100 that it is for this train ticket, but I think looking at it, it's going to be worth it. Great design, great station. However, I think that my favourite out of all the Bricklink ones is coming in Series 4, so quite a bit further away. Crowdfunding not going to be until almost a year's time for this one. Now, this is by Lucky, who gave us the Wild West General Store for Series 1 that's just been. Didn't sell out, sadly, but this is such a super thing. Look, I love Wild West theme, and I really like trains, so the combination of the two here, they're making me feel a little bit fizzy in the underpants region. I mean, this is just an absolutely super design. Beautifully done. This is going to go fantastically next to the Lone Ranger train that I've got on display. There's some beautiful details in here. I like the side builds as well. Obviously the water pump, the wind turbine. This is just taking me back to every Western movie that I used to love watching. You know, I just want Butch and Sundance and the Hole in the Wall gang to be riding up trying to rob the train. Maybe a posse coming in as well. Such a super set. I really genuinely cannot wait to get my hands on this one. It does have quite a lot of stickers, which is a bit of a shame, but you know what, for this, I'll take it. Such a brilliant looking thing in my humble and yet extremely important opinion. But there we go. Those are all the ones so far for Bricklink. Obviously, the Series 5 designer program is going to be opening up for submissions, I think, in May. So if you have any designs that you want to submit, make sure you don't miss out on that. Just visit Bricklink. You'll be able to find the details there. So there will be more in the pipeline, but at least these ones we know we will be getting, albeit in limited quantities. So yes, some will miss out. Unfortunately, that's just the way of things. And then the Lego Ideas, these sadly are not guaranteed. We might not see any of them, but they have achieved the support. They're in the review process. I feel at least one of them should get through. We definitely need another train. But this Wild West train is definitely my favourite. Let me know in the comments below which is yours. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider liking, subscribing, telling me how brilliant I am in the comments because I lack confidence and, you know, my ego needs a boost. Appreciated as always. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.